Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee and Cards. Do you have a coffee? Go grab one if you want. We'll have one together. I'm using my giant cauldron mug today. A very watered down coffee because that's how I'm rolling today. Alrighty then. So, today is a day where you need to let yourself feel some confidence and don't hate yourself for bad decisions that you may have made today when it comes to your health. You can always make the changes you need to your health slowly, and if you're making bad decisions health wise and then hating yourself for it, that's just going to be more toxicity in your field and in your body. I'm not saying it's okay to just do terrible things, eat things that are bad for you, and giving into habits that are bad for you. But it's really the relationship with yourself that is the most important at the moment. Of course, a good relationship with yourself, it means that you wouldn't make those bad decisions. But it's really, if you're going to be negative about the decisions that you're making and putting more negativity on yourself for those decisions, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to make any progress. You just chill out. And it's not about hating your body image and stuff like that. You need to love yourself and the body that you're in. Don't wait until you've already got the goal weight that you want before you start loving yourself. You need to love yourself now, and that will help you move toward the better habits that you need. Okay? And it's not just about appreciating yourself, but appreciating the things around you, appreciating the things that you see in your life. If you've been eating really badly lately, don't look in the mirror with disgust. Look at yourself and say, I love you. And I know that I've made a bad choice, but that doesn't mean I'm going to continue making bad choices. And I'm going to choose to treat you better because it's what you deserve. Okay? Don't forget that in moments of weakness, we do have the ability to ask for support. And not just from those around us, but from the energies around us and from the guides that are always watching us. You can't rely on the people in your life to make sure that you make the right decisions, because that's not their job. And the support and energy that we need to make those good decisions is around us. We just need to allow ourselves to receive it and accept it. And those pathways are opened much more when we're in the flow of loving ourselves despite mistakes that we make. Being mad at yourself for making a mistake is just going to create more bad decisions. And if you catch yourself going to eat something that you shouldn't, don't let accepting your mistakes or whatever be an excuse to carry on when you're doing it. Don't be like, I know I shouldn't eat this. I'm going to eat it anyway because I can just forgive myself afterwards and tell myself that I love myself anyway. Because you really need to make sure that you're making conscious decision. If you only realize after you've done something bad, like, oh, okay, I shouldn't have done that, that is when you can't hate yourself. But you need to really make sure that you're focusing on your intentions when you're about to eat something that you're not supposed to, and then you do. Just really try and sit with that for a minute before you put that food in your mouth again. Just recognize, okay, I'm choosing to do this. I can change that decision and not do it, or I can do it anyway. You know, which thing do you think will make you feel better a couple of hours from now, in the next couple of days? What kind of things do you notice about your body and your mood after you make the conscious choice to have the thing you know you weren't supposed to? Decide whether you're doing it because you don't do it very often and it's like a treat, or think about how often you've been doing it lately and realize why. Why have I felt the urge to do these things, to eat this stuff that I know I'm not supposed to? Why do I want to give in to doing this, even though I know it will make me sad? Really sit with yourself and think. What is it that I'm seeking from doing this? Is it happiness? Or is it literally like, this was something that I've already spent money on, so I feel obligated to do it because I don't want to waste the money? Or is it somebody bought this as a gift and it's an excuse to have it? Or somebody bought this for me and I would feel rude not to have it? And then really, really think about, would I have made the choice to buy this for myself? Would I have made the decision to eat this if it wasn't put in front of me? Just have a talk with yourself and think about it. And if you're really struggling with it, talk to your guides and be like, man, I did a bad thing and I ate this thing and I knew I wasn't supposed to, and now I feel really crappy about myself. And then ask what you should do and really think, really tune in to what emotional responses that you get from yourself and write it down. This is really about understanding yourself and the reasons behind your behaviors and justifications. It's very difficult to change habits if you are just acknowledging, yeah, I did that, and then pushing it out of your mind like, oh, well. You need to analyze things a little bit more. Make sure it's just about you and your decisions. Don't be focusing on why other people are doing things and trying to make them change, because that's not helpful. And if you feel annoyed at somebody for getting you food that you're not meant to eat and then you eat it anyway, you're just like, oh, I ate it because this person, they spent time and money getting this to me. You know, why did they do that? Do they not care about my health and stuff? Like, obviously, their intention behind that wasn't to make you upset with yourself. Their intention behind that was to share with you, to give you something. They just are being a part of your life. They thought about you. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna do something nice for these people, I'm gonna give them this thing. That doesn't mean that you have to, like, you can accept it and be like, thank you so much for thinking about me. But then you can say to yourself, you know what, if I am mad at anyone for buying this, whether it's myself or someone else, then that means that I know that I don't want to eat it. And you have the power to choose whether you're going to go through with doing that or not. It's important to know that you do have the power to turn things away when you don't feel like it aligns with what you want, the like path that you want for yourself, the health that you want, the messages that you want to send yourself. Like, I just want to please others, therefore I'm gonna have this thing that I was given, even though I don't want to do that. You're giving yourself the message that other people are more important than your relationship with yourself and with your body and your life. What do you want to give energy to? Do you want to give energy to the idea that you have to give in to things because other people might get offended if you don't? Or do you want to send yourself a message of, I have options to do things that I shouldn't, and I'm going to choose not to do that? And I know that with mental health issues, it can be really hard to make what you'll later on realize was the right choice. And if that is the case with you and you do have mental health issues and that did attribute to, why you've made what you've decided afterwards is the wrong thing, then that is the time where you really need to look at yourself and be like, man, I feel guilty about this because I love myself. And I'm really sorry that I did that. Am I going to do that thing again? Think about whether you would do that consciously or subconsciously again. If you're doing it consciously, why? Are you punishing yourself for something? Just get a notepad and or diary or whatever and literally just write down messages to yourself. Be like, I ate this food and I knew that I wasn't meant to, and I feel bad about it. If I forced someone else to eat something that they didn't want to eat and then they felt terrible, how would I feel? What would I say to them? And say that kind of stuff to yourself. Like, I'm sorry I wasn't supportive, kind of stuff. Because a part of you really needs to hear that. If you haven't been supportive of yourself, make sure you're giving that message. Like, oh, I'm sorry. That wasn't supportive. That wasn't helpful at all. I'm making the wrong decisions and I feel bad about it. And feeling bad about it is what's giving me more understanding of, whether that was the right decision, whether I want to go down that path again. You do have the capacity to change your path instead of just going through the same crud again. And just because everyone else around you is following a certain path doesn't mean that you have to take it. If somebody else is into buying and eating all this crap food and they include you in it by buying it for you without your consent, what do? Write down on your piece of paper what you should do with that. Put it in question form. Okay? So go back to what I just said and write down a question that you think is relevant. And then answer it. It feels like I'm not meant to give you the question. It needs to be your wording. It needs to be whatever you're taking from this. Alright? Sometimes when it comes to bad decision making and addictions and things like that, it can feel like you're trapped and you don't really have much options. But just know that the options are there, and the strength to get you through making the right choices is also there, right with you. Become friends with the energies around you that want to help. And when you get the feeling of just giving in and doing something that you're not supposed to do, just know that the light is there. The light of your true path is shining in front of you, and you just need to choose to look at it and go into it. And it might sound scary, but I want you to head toward that light and make a decision from the energy of that space and just see how you feel. Just write down on your paper how you feel making the right decision. So at some point today, notice a fork in your path, right? A decision that you can make that can go either way, whether it is for your health or whether it is for convenience or just to give in to someone else or whatever. And really choose to see that light which is shining. And for some reason, I always see like lights and guides and stuff. Or when I'm doing these readings anyway, I see it from like that direction, like to my left, just ahead, and kind of up. That's where the light is for me. Where is it for you? I don't know. Have a look around, have a feel. Feel where the light is. I'm not saying you should like look up and with your eyes you will see this thing. It's not really how it works. For some people it might be, and that's pretty cool. But um for me it's kind of like I know it's there. I can feel it, and it's like I can sense it shining at me from like this direction. It's kind of hard to explain. See, I know that usually the people that are guided to my readings are people who have started on a spiritual path relatively. They could be early on, they could be like in the middle of their journey of awakening. But you usually have gifts within you that you haven't tapped into yet. And that's kind of what my readings are supposed to help you with, to help you acknowledge your ability to feel energies and notice things that you can't see with your eyes. And I did start developing a course which will help people get more in tune with that, with meditations and stuff, like a group one. So eventually, when that is up and running, then that's what the main focus of that will be. So rather than me giving you like messages from your guides, it'll be more about how to open you up to receiving these messages on your own. Because if you put together all the learnings from all of these readings on here, you will realize that if you've tried each of these different things, and some of them work for you, some of them maybe they didn't work as well, and that'll just show you where you have some blockages, then you'll see where your strengths lie and what kind of things that you're able to work on and start just like honing it. Because if it's your path to just follow this for yourself, that is awesome and it's going to make a huge difference in your life. And if your path is to actually help others with this, same thing, then this is just the first step to learning that. So, um, that's the end of that reading. All right. Now, if that was relevant to you at all and you feel like that can help you in any way, make sure you subscribe to this so you can get all the cool tips and tricks and stuff. If you haven't seen any of the past readings, make sure you go back and just watch some of them. Watch the first few because there are some really cool things that you can do that will help you in your understanding of yourself, and also just any ability that you may be able to utilize for yourself. Alright? If you want your own personalized reading, a reading that is just for you specifically, then make sure that you click on my link to my Facebook page, or just type in acrahharmonyguidance.au. It will take you to my Facebook page, and you can just message me on there to book in a reading, and I'd love to help you with that. I do charge $60 for a 30-minute reading, so that is longer than these video readings that you're already getting for free, except more information specifically for you. And there'll be time for questions if you feel you need them. But as I've said in the previous video, oftentimes the questions that you ask have really already been answered in your reading, because that is the information that your guides know that you need. And if you're focusing elsewhere rather than on the information from the reading, then that means that your focus and your energy is directed somewhere that is not going to actually be taking you to your best path. And your guides want you on your best path. That's what they're here to help you with. And that's what I'm here to help you with. So let us help you. Alright? Okay. Thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.